Hi viewers, today we are going to explore one of the top public bug bounty platforms, that is HackerOne. Let's start with the registration and login scenario. This is the HackerOne portal, hackerone.com. First time visitors, you have to first create an account. So go to login tab here. I already have account, so it is showing me login page, but for the first timers, you have to go to the create a HackerOne account page. That is nothing but the sign up page. As we discussed in our bug bounty overview session, these bug bounty platforms, they can be used both by hackers as well as by organizations, right? So in this sign up page, we can either register as a hacker, then we'll be having a researcher account and start ethical hacking or bug hunting. Whereas companies can register as a company and then they can host their programs assets into this platform, HackerOne platform, and make it available to the researcher community. For our session, we are not going to explore the company workflow. We are going to explore the researcher workflow. Okay. So here we have to click on the I am a hacker button. It will open the registration page for the hacker or security researcher. First, you have to give your name, which will be visible on the public credit activity and any swags or any publications on your name. So those will use your name. You have to give an username, which will be your handle on HackerOne portal. So using this handle, people can tag you, either company or other researchers can tag you, and you can see your dashboard. Then you have to give your email address using which you will log in and password. After giving all these details, click on create account. Then a registration link will be sent to your email. You have to follow the steps and also set up two-factor authentication. After you complete this registration step, you can go to the login page. So in the login page, you have to use the same email address and password which you have registered and then click on sign in. This will then prompt you for the two-factor authentication that will also you have to set up during your registration. Any authenticator app you can use on your phone. From that app, you have to enter your OTP, okay, and then click verify. If you lose access to your authenticator app, you can use backup code also. During two-factor authenticator setup, you will be provided backup codes. Those you can use as well alternatively to do the second factor authentication. So we have covered the registration and sign up flow. Now let's explore programs and opportunities. Okay, so here on the dashboard of HackerOne portal, after you log in as a researcher, you see multiple tabs present on the left hand side. First one is the opportunities. So opportunities are special, programs or campaigns which will run through some limited period of time, and you can see huge amount of bounty for those. And sometimes they are campaigns, so some extra bounty or extra bonus payouts will also be there. You can researchers can come to the opportunities page and select some good opportunity and then start hacking. Alternate way of looking into programs is the directory on the second last tab. So if you click on directory, it will redirect to the programs page. Here all the available programs on HackerOne portal will be displayed or listed. From this dashboard, you can have some filters here, which type of assets you want to test or you want to see, and also program features. You can filter using those. If you don't filter anything, active programs, any, all the programs will be listed. And here also you can see launch date, number of reports resolved, bounty minimum payout, and also average payout. So as you remember, we discussed about selecting or choosing your program wisely. This is how you can choose from this statistics, you can understand which programs are good, which programs are like proactively looking into the report, resolving them, and providing bounty actively. You can go and start hacking on those. Okay, so there are two options. One is directory, where you can see all the active programs. Another one is opportunities, where you can see special campaigns and bonus payout related bug bounty programs in HackerOne portal. Next is scope and ROE. To explore scope and ROE, we have to visit any of the active programs. So let's consider this one. This is for demonstration purpose. You can go any of the programs and see, explore yourself. Once you visit any of the programs page, you can see first program guidelines, which will have quick introduction of the program, highlights of the program, that is contact details of the internal security team, what type of scopes are there, payment, how it will take the payments and vulnerability, timelines, response efficiency, collaboration is enabled. If it is enabled, you can collaborate with other researchers. If it is not enabled, you can only work alone. Retesting is included or not. If it is included, means once you submit any vulnerability, once it is fixed by the program, you have to retest. If retesting is not included, then only you have to submit findings and get rewards. Then also average response time to triage, average time to provide bounty, all these details you can see. This is also signal where you can understand and choose a program to test. Then also you see reward summary for severity of vulnerability, what is the reward range. Okay, also asset wise, it will show you for what type of asset, what is the reward category. You have like disclosure policy overview. So these are also kind of ROE, and also engagement description, how you can register to the specific program or applications, how to get the test credentials and plan. Important notes, those are like ROEs or rule of engagement. Okay, eligibility of the report, what not to do, program rules, out of scope. These are like generic rule of engagement, which also contains your program rules, eligibility, out of scope, etc. Known issues, scope, out of scope, suppliers, panels. Safe harbor means once as security researchers on HackerOne portal, when we are doing any security testing, we are being protected by the platform itself. So if we follow all these rule of engagement, we are safe. And if we violate any of them, then there may be some compliance or governing related issues may occur. So we have to always stick to the rules and in scope. Now, after this general guidelines and ROE, we have actually program specific scope. If we go to the scope tab, you see all the assets are listed, type of the asset, whether it is web application domain, API, or mobile application. Then scope details, whether it is in scope or out of scope, severity, bounty eligibility is there or not. In scope is eligible for bounty, out of scopes are not eligible for bounty, and also last updated date and how many number of reports are resolved already. So all these details you can get from the scope tab. Here we can see web application API and also mobile applications are in scope. Similarly, few of the apps or domains are out of scope. Okay, so we have to always stick to the scope section and do the testing. Now, activity tab is for showing all the activities with respect to hacking happening in this program. So other researchers, what they have submitted, how many bugs are like whenever any bug is accepted or triaged by the specific program, these things, or when bounty is rewarded. So these details you can get from the activity tab. Thanks is like recognition for all the researchers with respect to their rank and number of findings. The thanks will be provided, and you can see who all are the active researcher in this specific program. Updates is for communication from the program, like if any new asset is added, any asset is removed, or it is being paused, or some updates in the program, those will be available on the updates tab. And collaborators is for hackers, where you can contact them and collaborate, because in this specific program collaboration was enabled, so you can come and see all the active hackers, collaborate with them, and together you can do testing and find vulnerabilities. Next is submission and comms. So how do we test and how do we create a submission? Now let us do a testing. Suppose we want to do testing on this specific asset or domain. So you can go to that specific in scope URL or domain. Then following the program rules, you remember we saw how to create account. So you can see how we can have your username, password, how you have to register test plan and credentials, right? So following those, you have to create test user accounts here. Remember, when you are testing any production environment, always be ethical and follow the guidelines strictly. Okay, if it is any test environment or lower environment, not non-production environment, then account will be provided from the program and you can do your like testing little bit aggressively. But when it is production environment, you have to stick totally with the rule of engagement. Do not do any destructive testing. And also, if you find any of the like information disclosure or kind of vulnerabilities which may impact the other users, real users, stop there and inform the program team and then proceed. So as we discussed, after you create the test account, test application in scope, after you do testing and find a vulnerability, we have to come here to the specific program page, and here you see submit report, right? Either you can submit report with HackerOne AI assisted feature, or you can submit report without assistant. So for starters, we'll go without report assistant so that we understand each and every field of the report. Once you go to submit vulnerability for a specific program, first you have to select the asset, step one. So all the in-scope assets will be listed out here. When you test it, you list out where you find the vulnerability, right? You know where you have identified the vulnerability. So you have to select that specific asset. For example, Misho.com suppose is our target application. So we select the asset. Second is what type of vulnerability you identified. Suppose you identified XSS, which is a very common vulnerability, cross-site scripting. Select that type. Then severity, which is optional, but we can also have our CVSS scoring and provide the severity, because these will have the factor. These are the factor which impacts your reward. Okay. Anyways, the triage team of HackerOne will be doing during triaging. They will also set the proper severity and impact. But as a responsible security researcher, try to give your valid justification with respect to impact and severity. So you can either put without severity, then triage team will have their own severity setup, or you can, based on your understanding and your best judgment, you can select the severity with respect to CVSS scoring. You can also set manual CVSS or manual severity. So here, suppose network, because it is online, attack complexity, easily we can suppose attack privileges, suppose low, because we need login, right? So low. User interaction, none, because the once we give payload, suppose any victim users are not, no need to interact from them directly, it will execute, so we gave none. Scope, if it is like same application not going out of the application scope, then scope is unchanged. If your scope is changed, means the vulnerability what you identified, it is doing harm or impact to outside of that scoped application or going out of scope. I mean, this is not with respect to the testing scope. This is impact scope. Okay. Don't get confused with testing scope versus impact severity scope. Here, scoping means if your vulnerability is impacting the only the target application, and if it is broader scenario it is impacting, then scope will be changed, otherwise it will be unchanged. Confidentiality, if you are able to impact the confidentiality, the CIA triad. So this is the CIA confidentiality. If you are able to do something high confidentiality impact, then it is high. Otherwise it will be low. You see, based on these selection, severity is getting changed here. So suppose confidentiality is high, integrity is high. You are able to delete, modify, update data of other users. And availability, if you are able to make the application go away or unavailable for other users, then see ultimately the final score or severity will be high, right? Now after you select the severity, you go to the proof of concept, that is actual report steps. So you can give a title. For example, you find excesses on first name. So you have to give a proper title, so that from the title itself, the triage team person, or the program owners, when the report goes to them, they can understand from the title itself what vulnerability you have reported. So make it easy to understand and clear. Then description, you have to write a summary, like what exactly the vulnerability is, what it does, and then you have to write steps to reproduce how exactly you have to reproduce the vulnerability. So suppose we submit a vulnerability, then other side triage team and also the program team has to understand and reproduce it to prove, right? So this is proof of concept. So for example, you have to write steps to reproduce, like log into the application, go to the setup page, enter XSS payload on the first name page, and then click save. Next step is any other user when logs in and goes to the like all the user details page, so the first name will be executing there as XSS, right? This is how you have to write all the steps, so that clear steps result in easy reproducing of the vulnerability, and it will be then accepted. Supporting material means screenshot of each step, execution proof, like when you give XSS payload on the first name, that is one POC image, then save. Then when other user logs in and goes to some page where it is executing, that is the sync. So all these screenshots or even video recording can also be provided. So this is nothing but your supporting material or proof of concept video or image. Okay, and attachment reference you can put here. You can also see the preview, what you have written, how it will look like to the other party. Okay, write mode is you will write, preview is you can see how it looks like. So this is markdown enabled editor. After you write the description and steps to reproduce, you have to also write the impact, what exactly this vulnerability will impact on this application. Okay, so you mention your impact summary, and after that, in this drop and drag and drop, you can upload all your evidences and all. Record demo, you can show like video recording, as I mentioned. So all these two attachment is for your providing evidences. After you complete all these fields, you can see review your report. So all the details you provide on the form, it will be displayed here as preview. After you successfully preview and understand there is no grammatical mistake, all the steps are proper, everything is correct, easy to understand, all the attachments are provided, then you can click on submit report. Before submit report, you can keep it as draft as well, so that later stage you can come and edit it. But once you submit, then it will go to the first it will go to the HackerOne triage queue. Okay, so someone from the triage team who will be triaging the missions, the specific bug bounty programs, vulnerabilities or submissions, they will take it from the queue, validate your finding, understand the severity, impact, everything is proper, whether it is unique, I mean not reported by anyone before. So that is the catch here in bug bounty, right? Your submission has to be unique and new. Yeah, it should not be a duplicate and reported by someone else. So your submission has to be unique, new, and also impactful. Then only after triaging, the triage team will accept it from their side and forward it to the program owner. Once program owner again looks into the report and accepts it, your final submission will be accepted and reward will be decided and you will get the reward. Okay. So here I will not submit because it is for demonstration purpose. If I submit, a invalid report will be submitted to this program. So I don't want to do that. But using this specific submit report functionality, we as security researchers, we can create submissions. Now let's see dashboard or inbox. Once we submit any report, right, it will be going to our inbox. This one is the inbox. Inbox is the specific logged in researchers dashboard where you can see all the open submissions here, means which you just submitted, which is not yet like closed, it is open. All the open or active submission reports here you will see. Need more information is like when triage team has gone through your report or submission and they wanted more information, so this is the communication tab, right? So they will make a comment on your submission asking for more details, so those category submissions will come under need more information, and as researcher we have to provide more details whatever is requested. Pending bounty is where it is already triaged and accepted but waiting on the program team to release the bounty or reward. Pending disclosure is where everything is done, like bounty is also provided, you received the bounty. Now few programs will allow disclosure, that means we can publicly disclose our report so that other researchers can see it from the activity page, and few programs do not allow disclosure, then those will not be disclosed. So if we as a researcher, if we request for disclosure, then the program team, if they approve the disclosure, then that those kind of tickets will be under this specific category, and once the program team approves disclosure, it will be disclosed publicly and other researchers can see it. Pending retest, from name itself we can understand where the submission was accepted, rewarded, and then the program team has put fixed it and put it for retest. So those cases will come under pending retest, where we can come as researcher and complete, validate the retest, validate the finding, fix is proper, and then we can say yes, fix is proper, and then it will be finally closed. And all means all the submissions of us, and draft means where we have written something which is still not submitted and it is in draft state. So this is how we can go to our inbox as a researcher. We can see all our submissions and communications on them. We can put our own communication if we have any dispute. For example, suppose one submission was rejected by the triage team and we think it is not, rejection is not valid, and we have a dispute with them, we can raise dispute from there also. On the submission itself, below on the comment section, you can see raise dispute. So if you raise dispute, it will be escalated and another senior triage member will be assigned with it. They will discuss and revalidate. If it your case is correct, you will get reconsideration and may get reward. If they feel like no, yours is not in valid case, the initial triage team's decision was proper, then you will not get any reward, they will close it. As we discussed, there were few challenges and human factors were involved, so we have to be always in ethical boundary and have good faith on that. And dispute, we can resolution, go through a resolution using the platform provided feature itself. Next is invites. We started our session saying HackerOne is a popular publicly available bug bounty platform, right? Publicly available means it has to be available to anyone and public, right? It is not private. But there is a catch. Though it is a publicly available bug bounty platform, it is open to anyone where we can come as security researcher, register and start doing testing, right? Or start bug hunting. There are few programs on public portals as well who don't want to go actually public. So the programs will be initially private mode. They will only invite handpick top researchers from the portal itself. For example, ABCD is a company who have hosted their program, bug bounty program on HackerOne portal, but they don't want to put it or make it available to everyone on the portal, right? They will go for private mode, and then they will discuss with the HackerOne portal community team, and then select handpick few researchers who are top, who are like having more signals, more reputation, and then send private invites to those hackers only. So those are called private programs in public portal. And how you will receive that? First of all, once you get reputation, find so many vulnerabilities, get a good score, then you will be selected for those private programs. And on this bell icon you see, you can click and you see people when some like programs had invited you for private program. You can see this is my test account, but still many program has invited me. So I have not done any testing or done any research on that because it is test account. I am using this only to demonstrate this to you. Okay. So this is how once you get reputation, do active bug hunting, then some programs will send you private invites where only you and other researcher who are handpicked can perform the bug bounty. So we have covered all of the HackerOne's different aspects, right? There are more to explore when you start. This is for beginners, right? Once you start researching, you know how to test, you find vulnerabilities, start exploring HackerOne and various features. There are many AI related features as well provided by HackerOne. So you can go through that. You can also go to the activity part, understand what others have reported, and you can see what are the trending bugs present, right? So you can see these are publicly disclosed submissions. If you go, you can understand how other researchers are submitting bugs, what type of bugs, and from them you can learn as well. So this specific activity feature can be used for your learning. So thank you for staying till the end of this video. Drop your comments if you like the video, and also stay tuned for next videos where I'll be covering other platforms and also tips for bug bounty and how to do security testing. Have a nice day. Bye bye.